Hello everyone, Troy Olson here with Century 21 Judge Fight. Welcome to my very first podcast. As you may saw earlier this week on social media, we're starting this today. We're going to do this on a monthly basis. Sometimes I will be doing it solo. Sometimes I will have a guest. We've actually got a surprise guest already lined up for December. So for the first podcast, what I wanted to talk about was kind of the journey, how I got into real estate. I was living in Scottsdale, Arizona in late 2003, and I thought it was time for me to go purchase my first property. And back then you grabbed the magazine at the grocery store if you didn't have MLS access. And I found a property. It was a townhome in Scottsdale that I was interested in. And I called the realtor to schedule a time for me to preview it. And he showed up about 30 minutes late, and when we got into the property, I didn't feel like he knew a lot about the property. So what I decided to do, the entrepreneur that I am or wanted to be at the time, was I'll just go get a real estate license and do this myself. So I found a real estate school in Arizona, in Phoenix, and I went and got my license. And my very first deal was my own deal. Not saying I knew exactly what I was doing. Certainly felt I was good with negotiations, being in sales at that time for about 6 years. So got my real estate license in Arizona and did my first deal. And then by the end of 2004, the real estate market in Phoenix had started to kind of shift. And I had been traveling for a previous career that I had in telecommunications over to DFW, and fell in love with DFW. The economy was strong, and I decided, well, if I'm going to move to the great state of Texas, I'm just going to get a real estate license in Texas. So I did that. That way, when I officially moved to Frisco in September of 2005, I had a real estate license and I was ready to go. So that was kind of my initial journey as to how I got into the industry. As far as, people ask me why real estate. I grew up on a big farm in Wisconsin. I love land. I always thought that if I was going to sell real estate, that I would focus on the farm and ranch aspect of it. I still have goals to do farm and ranch. I've done a couple deals for myself or for clients, but I'm traditionally a residential agent, work with buyers, sellers, and investors. Also do some flipping and some investments on my own. But the why for me is every real estate transaction is different. Whether it is a buyer, a seller, or investor, every transaction is different. Just like every golf course, every hole, every pin placement, there are never two the same. So it's been a lot of fun for me, to do that. As far as how the career has progressed here in Dallas is getting my license here in September of 2005. So we're right at our 13-year mark. I never set out to have a team. I always thought I would just be a one-man band. But the production grew to a level in 2014 where I started to need help. Business was going to slip if I didn't get some help, and I've always been a component of quality instead of quantity. So I hired my first employee in July of 2014, Julie Barthol. She's actually still with me. She's my lead buyer's agent right now. And then over the course of the past 4.5 years, employees have joined the team, and we've grown the team to now we have 3 in production, have a full-time transaction coordinator, full-time marketing person. So we'll be doing introductions and profiling team members as we get further into our podcast series. Some of the questions that we sent out some emails to some folks in our network about just some general questions that people want to ask me. I've got an agent who's actually gonna interview me tomorrow. He wants to shadow me. He's about a year in the business, so we get a lot of questions, from new agents like that. One of the questions that I got when they asked about production is, how did you take your business from 11 million to 55 million in sales in 4 years? And I'll be the first to admit it wasn't easy. There's a lot of sacrifices that you have to make. We have a really good sphere of influence, and we do a very good job reaching out to them, staying in contact with them, whether it be Social media, mailers, phone calls, quarterly pop buys. We do 2 big client parties a year, which have been a big success for us. But I would say the number one thing that we do is build relationships. I've got a real estate coach that has preached to me, you make your money, belly to belly, face to face. So you stay in touch with these people, make sure that, it's not just a transactional, thanks for the commission check, and then you move on, with the rest of your life. These are clients for life, and we've done a very good job of getting referrals, from these people over a continuous basis. Some other questions that people have said to us is, well, what are your sources of business? Is it just referrals and past clients? And the answer is no. You have to have multiple sources, of income coming in. So our sphere of influence is our number one. We are fortunate enough to be on the corporate relocation team on the Frisco office. So we work with a lot of executives that either buy or sell or are moving for work. Another good source of business for us has been our vendor partners, whether it be somebody in mortgage, somebody in title, home warranty. We've got a very good, vendor list from electricians and painters and landscapers, fence contractors, HVAC plumbers that, not only do we represent them on their personal transactions, but they've been a very good referral source for us. And then I'm a big component of networking. I'm in a very large networking group. We meet every Monday from 11:30 to 1, same time, same place. It is an exclusive group, so I am the only realtor in that group that focuses on residential. So, our chapter is about 25 members and growing every week. So that's been a good source for us. So there's 4 continuous sources of opportunity that come our way. And then as I continue to build the team and recruit agents who have their own book of business, something that I've always had a goal and have always said is, in 2004, when I got my real estate license, one of my friends in Arizona really got me into the industry, and I was impressed with how much time and effort, he put into me. And I always made the commitment that I would put as much time into, a new hire as they put into me. And because I really had a mentor that launched my career, I would always give back. So those of you who are close to me know that I have goals to, be a real estate coach in a couple years, be a public speaker, and I've really been blessed to have a network of people in TV and radio and social media, digital marketing that have introduced me to other people to help me get where I want to go with other things other than just selling real estate. Other things that have been a real benefit to our business is I was fortunate to be on the American Dream TV show here in 2018. I've hired a social media expert, digital marketing expert. A lot of our material is going to be shown on Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Google Play, so I'm excited about that. Obviously, with a lot of change and shift in the market, we've got to go more digital, and again, hiring somebody specifically that's a trained expert in that field. So we're really looking forward, to growing not just our Instagram account, our Twitter account. Our Facebook presence has really exploded over the last 30 days. You're going to see a lot more video from our team. So we're really excited about the future of not only the real estate industry, but outlets of media that we weren't tapped into before. In closing, I want to say thank you for watching the first ever Troy Olson Team podcast. Again, we're going to be doing this on a continuous basis, so make sure you are subscribing and following us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and be on the lookout for future presentations. Thanks and have a great day. Want you to share.